Hello VC, what's going on? It's me Will, and I'm back this time to do another episode of New Music Update. And this is gonna be an old vinyl new music update video. I have a stack full of vinyl records to show you. All of them new releases. I think all of them came out in 2019 with the exception of one, I think. But anyways, all of them are fairly new releases. But I wanted to make sure I did a new music update video today because I have a lot of records that I've been picking up in the last few months, and a lot of great new music has been coming out lately. And this may be my last new music update video before my year-end video, where I'm going to list my top 10 albums of the year. And that one should come out, I think, by the last week of December. So stay tuned for that. But for now, let's go through some of the records that I've been picking up in the last few months, and let's start off with the newest release from one of my favorite bands of all time, the Pixies. They came back this year again after their reunion in 2004 with another new record. This one's called Beneath the Eyrie, and it came out in 2019 on Pixies Recordings, also a self-released. And I really like the artwork on this one. Very traditional, kind of like a very dark themed album cover here with the Pixies. And the back looks a lot like the artwork from the old 4AD Records artwork. Then it came in with a nice gatefold, some more artwork, and the inner sleeve also came in with some additional pictures. And I don't know if you can tell there, but the sleeve is almost like a texture sleeve, almost like very soft silk materials on this one. It's not your traditional cardboard sleeve, and the record itself came in on black vinyl with custom labels. And yeah, what can I say about the new Pixies record is that I like it a lot. And I may be in the minority here, but I have been enjoying a lot the last three records by the Pixies. Those are the post-reunion records from the Pixies. I know a lot of the very hardcore fans of the Pixies don't like them because they may not have Kim Deal on bass, or because it doesn't sound like the old Pixies. But in my opinion, they sound great. They're all excellent albums, and of course, it's hard to compare them with the masterpieces that were the first four Pixies records. But if you just listen to them in a vacuum, these are excellent records that came out after the reunion, at least in my opinion. And this one is no exception. It's really good. Has a lot of really great tunes in this one, especially the song number 2 in the record called Graveyard Hill. Excellent song by the Pixies. And also Catfish Kate, which is a very melodic and very catchy tune as well. It might be one of my favorite albums of the year. It is really good. And in case you haven't checked it out, make sure that if you're a Pixies fan, also make sure that you listen to the Pixies podcast that came out a few months ago. I think it's just called just that. It's a Pixies podcast, and you can check it out on Spotify. It's really good, and it goes through the background of recording the new Pixies record. It goes through some of the stories and the process of coming up with the songs and recording them. It's very interesting for I would say for Pixies fans out there. It's not the Pixies trying to make a Pixies album, it's just the Pixies making new music, which in my opinion it works really well. So the Pixies with Beneath the Eyrie, check it out. Alright, up next, new music from another one of my favorite bands of all time. This is the newest album from the Muffs, and this one's called No Holiday, and it came out also in 2019 on Omnivore Recordings. And yeah, this is a very special record for me, at least for being a very long time fan of the Muffs. Because if you've been following the news, you may have heard that Kim Shattuck, the lead singer and guitar player of the Muffs, just recently died, maybe 2 months ago after complications from ALS. which is an illness that not many people knew that she had. Only close friends and family knew about it. I guess they were keeping it kind of close to the family members and the friends. But yeah, this was tough news for me to hear, because I've been a fan of the Muffs for so many years. I actually got a chance to interview Kim a couple of times and to meet her after a show when they came here to Atlanta a couple of years ago. And she was a great person, and I've been a longtime fan of her music and the Muffs. So it was hard news to hear. But anyways, they came out with a new record. And I may have to do a separate video someday just to go over my Muffs collection, because the Muffs are one of the few bands where I collect everything that they release, and I think I have close to a full collection. So someday I'm gonna have to do a full video on the Muffs. But the new album is excellent, and this is not me talking from a fan that is just a little bit nostalgic and maybe sad because of the latest news. This is really a great record. It may be one of my favorite albums of the year so far. Yeah, again, it's called No Holiday. It's a double LP, and it came in a really nice gatefold. I really love the picture here in the front. I heard that this picture was taken after a show in Buenos Aires in Argentina. You can see it's a packed house. Really cool to see the Muffs there on stage. And it's also a little bit nostalgic here in the front cover, because it almost looks like they're saying goodbye, which is a little bit of the story behind the record. Apparently this record it has songs that were written before Kim got diagnosed with ALS. All of them, or most of them, were older songs, but they were recorded after the fact that she got diagnosed, and at some points she couldn't sing or play the guitar that much. So she needed some help from the bandmates and other people that supported to record the record. But anyways, it ends up sounding like a full Muffs record. It has very fast songs, has the traditional growl from Kim Shattuck. Some of the songs are a lot slower compared to the last few releases from the Muffs, which have been a little bit more mellow, more melodic. But it really shows how great of a musician and songwriter Kim was. This record is excellent. Here's the track list. I don't think I showed you the record, but it came in on standard black vinyl. But like I said, it's a double LP, has 2 records. Here's the hype sticker, black vinyl, and custom labels. But the second LP came in, one side came in with music, and the other side came in with an etching with a little artwork of I don't know if you can see it there, but it's a cartoon of the 3 band members of the Muffs: Kim, Ronnie, and Roy. Kind of hard to see, but you can kind of tell that it's a cartoon of the band members. But yeah, it's a great record. Some of the songs, like I said, they were older. They were previously written by Kim. And some of the songs you can really tell where Kim could not sing that much, maybe for a little bit, but you could tell that her voice didn't sound as energetic compared to her previous albums. But it doesn't matter, in my opinion. I think the songs are like they were written and recorded. And yeah, it's ended up being a beautiful farewell record for the Muffs. Great new album, No Holiday. Make sure that you check it out. Alright, then, speaking of the Muffs, here's a new EP from a band called The Coolies. And this one's called Ooh-Oh, It's The Coolies. And they came out early in 2019 on Wicked Cool Records. And who are The Coolies? They are a rock trio with, of course, Kim Shattuck of the Muffs, rest in peace. And also Melanie Vammen is also in the Coolies, who is an original member of the Muffs and also played in the Pandoras with Kim. And the third member is Palmyra Delran, who I think plays in a band called The Frigs. I'm not too familiar with Palmyra, but I'm a big fan of Kim Shattuck and Melanie Vammen of the Muffs, of course, so I had to pick this one up. I pre-ordered this one when it was announced. And if you're a fan of the Muffs, you will enjoy this record. It has 3 songs that were written and sang by Kim Shattuck. and the other 3 songs were sang and written by Palmyra Del Ran. And since I pre-ordered this one, it came in with a couple of goodies. Came in with a 3D glasses, so you can see the cover, which doesn't work very well here in the camera. And also came in with a couple of stickers, Wicked Cool Records and Coolies Records, the Coolies record artwork. And since I pre-ordered it, I got the first press of this one. Came in with a nice inner sleeve, some pictures of the band, a collage of the band, and the 10-inch record itself on transparent green vinyl. Really nice looking record. Yeah, like I said, if you're into the music of the Muffs, you'll enjoy this one. Actually, I think a couple of the songs from this one may have been outtakes from the Muffs or some Kim solo recordings. But yeah, they're great. It has 6 songs here as a track list. And if you buy this record, all the proceeds go to support ALS Association Golden West Chapter in California. And of course, this one was actually announced way before anybody knew about, or I guess before Kim's death. So it was before the public knew about Kim's battle with ALS. And I think they still have some pressings of, or some new pressings of this record in case you want to go ahead and support the cause. I'll put a link here in the description. Again, this one's the Coolies with It Ooh-Oh Is the Coolies. Alright, up next, new music from the legendary indie rock band Sleater-Kinney. And the rock trio came back this year in 2019 with a new album called The Center Won't Hold. And it came out in earlier this year in 2019 on Mom & Pop Records. And yeah, I actually pre-ordered this one because I'm a big fan of Sleater-Kinney. Here's the track list. I like the packaging on this one. The artwork is actually very weird for a band like Sleater-Kinney, especially with that picture right there. But you can tell that it was very influenced in the artwork from the recent albums from St. Vincent, who is the producer of this record. The sleeve came in with a die cut in the center, so you can see the labels. Custom sleeves. Here's the back. And the record that I got from the pre-order is split, beautiful split black and white record, again with the custom labels. Alright, so the new Sleater-Kinney album. There's been a lot of controversy out there about this new record. I think most of the reviews, I would say, weren't that good. I think a lot of people are saying that it's by far the worst Sleater-Kinney album, or one of the worst ones. I'm not gonna say that it's a bad album. I'm just gonna say that it was a disappointing record, for sure. Especially when you hear that it's a record that is coming out from a band that has been releasing some of the best albums of the decade, combined with St. Vincent, who was producing this record. So everybody said that it was gonna be an excellent album, but when it came out, it fell short of that. It is not an excellent album. I would say it's just an okay, close to good record. But it's for sure very, very disappointing. I would say that the first 3 songs of the record are very good. And then after that, the record just falls flat. There's a lot of filler songs, and they're just very disappointing songs, and they don't end up sounding with the same kind of energy and power that a band like Sleater-Kinney normally does. You gotta realize that Sleater-Kinney started off as a punk band, lots of energy, lots of great guitar riffs, and they really don't do that in this record, which is a little bit disappointing. But I'm not gonna say that it's a bad album, because the first 3 songs of the record are really good. If you check out something from this record, check out this song called Hurry On Home. And speaking of sleater-kinney, I also picked up a couple of 7-inch singles from the new album. I pre-ordered this one. This one's called Hurry On Home. It also came out on Mom and Pop Records. Also with a very interesting picture of the band here in the front cover. And this is when Janet Weiss was still in the band. Here's the back. And I think the the record itself came in on colored vinyl. Like a maroon color vinyl. Really cool sounding record. This is my favorite song of the album. I think it's a solid song. Again, Hurry On Home. And the B-side I think is just okay. It's a song called The Dog, The Body. And also when I went to see them live a couple of months ago, they played here at the Tabernacle in Atlanta. They played at a great show. By the way, if you get a chance to see sleater-kinney, do not miss them because just the newest album is not that good. Go see them because they're an excellent band to see live. And they had an exclusive single that they released only for the people that attended their shows. And this one's called Animal, which is a non-album single. I haven't opened this one yet, but I have listened to this one on Spotify, and it is really good. It's a really good song as well. Alright, up next, new music from a fairly new band called The Paranoids. And this is their newest album called Carnage Bargain. Great album title, and also great album cover as well. I don't know if you can see the fly there on the toothbrush. And this one came out also in 2019 on Suicide Squeeze Records. And there's the hype sticker. And I discovered this band when I went to see Bleached live a couple of months ago. They played here in Atlanta, and this band opened for them. They played a great show, and at the end of the show they hung out and they signed my record, the 4 band members. And I picked this one up at the show, so they had a color vinyl edition of the record. Really nice looking bright blue vinyl with the custom labels from The Paranoids. Great record. Really up my alley. Punk rock with a lot of garage rock influences. And the vocals are excellent. The lyrics are really fun. High energy punk rock. Make sure that you check them out. Alright, and last but not least, this is the second EP from a band that I'm a big fan of, a fairly new band called Warriors. And this is their second EP called Cruel Optimist, and it came out originally in 2013 on Don Giovanni Records. And this record was out of print for a while. I followed this band, Dorman, and their email list, and they just sent an email a couple of months ago saying that they recently found old new copies of the record. And I'm not sure if that's true or not, but it doesn't look like it's a new repress. It's just like they just found some older copies and old new copies, and then they were putting them up for sale. Of course I picked one up. I missed out when this one came out, and it has 8 songs on the EP. Great new EP great old EP from Warriors. Came in with a nice insert with all the lyrics. And the record itself came in on just standard black vinyl with the custom labels. And yeah, this band is really up my alley, very melodic pop-punk music. But what's the highlight of this band, in my opinion, is the lyrics. The singer and songwriter of the band, Lauren Denizio, is an incredible songwriter. And she's really good at putting the audience into her own perspective of life nowadays in the current world. From the perspective of a minority, or from a perspective of people that are in the minority right now in America. Alright, VC, so that's all I have to show you for today. Thank you again for tuning in, and hopefully I'll be back in the next few weeks to do my top 10 albums of 2019, so stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching and take care. Bye bye.